sometimes it takes a few minutes to get some viewers into the live stream. That I can tell you right now. Hey, we have a viewer. Someone's in here. As Borat Sagdiyev would say, very nice. We like. How much for your sister? Just kidding. Just kidding. Granny Goose. Hello, Granny Goose. First one into the chat room. Another short show today. Ron White has joined us with my favorite. I never use the computer. How the fuck do I make an emoji? I want to do the eyes back. Damn it. Don't know how to do it. Mute, stop cam, settings, share screen, invite, leave studio, having issues. No. Where are my friggin' emojis? Damn it. Oh well, how about this? There we go. Charlie Brown, my cousin. What's up? Charlie Brown is in the house. Indiana Jones is in the house. And happy Sunday to all. Happy Sunday to all. We're going to get into politics and we're going to get into some conspiracies. But also we're going to get into what I would call, believe it or not, actually one of the slowest news Sundays that I've experienced in a long time. Does not mean that there is not any important news happening. It's just there's no big. The only thing anyone's really caring about, which I guess I understand why. I suppose I understand why. Is the whole Ron White says hello to Indiana Jones. And for those who don't know, Charles Brown, Charlie, he's actually my cousin, and he's in the chat. So that's the kind of thing we like. On the JB Rants live show. Totally stole that from Blackie. East Texas Piney Woods, nephew, name, Granny Goose. I bet there's some big bass in those East Texas Piney Woods if there's any water around there, which I'm sure there is. In my mind, I've never been to Texas. I'm not well traveled. But in my mind, every bass caught in the state of Texas is like 5 pounds and above. That's just a fantasy I have in my brain. It's just something about Texas. I picture steaks this big and bass this big. That's just what I picture. When I think about Texas, I don't think about Republican, Democrat. I don't think about the South of the U.S. and this and that. I just don't think of that. I think of giant steaks and giant bass and tornadoes. That's what I think of. Not that we like tornadoes doing damage. I think when they're on the Great Plain image, except they stir up dust and you can get that great, storm chaser shot. Because if I was independently wealthy, I love working in dentistry. I love what I do. Where's my thing? I love making and carving these. I absolutely love it. The doctors choose the shade of tooth, shade color, shade, and then we pick out the teeth and set all of this in wax. This is all in the production process. All the gums, all the tissue, it's all wax. And then we submerge it in plaster. Bang it. Cure it overnight, take it out, open it up, and this is all in acrylic. And then we polish it smooth so that it's comfortable for the patient to wear. This thing is 5 or 6 or 8 years old. It was at the company long before I even joined this particular company. So I'm not manhandling something that someone's going to wear on my live YouTube stream. But the reason I bring this up is if I didn't make these and I had, let's say, like $2 million in the bank, or at least enough to retire on somewhat, I would be a tornado chaser. That's what I would do. I would still do my conspiracy show. I would still go live on YouTube. In fact, I'd merge the two. And I would have my storm chasing be a whole separate channel, but I would always live stream on my main channel, which is JB Rants. And I'd be out there on the Great Plains. And you know what's so interesting? And then I'll shut up and I'll read the chat because we do have some folks in the chat. The most interesting thing that a lot of folks do not understand about a storm chaser is, yes, they're out there primarily to, let's be honest, it's a business, make money and film these tremendous weather events. But once a proper storm chaser sees a structure be hit by something that powerful of a force of nature, they actually transition into first responders before first responders can get on the scene. So it really is a double job, because you can't just be I'm sure some do, but in my vision of that whole line of work, yes, you got to get that great storm shot. You have to get that perfect shot, because that's what sells videos, and that's what helps scientists, and that's what aids in research in the developing, safety and protection protocols of this very industry. But I'm telling you, any proper storm chaser, once they see a structure hit where there might be life, someone living in there, or like a family, and they see you stop your storm chasing, cameras go away, and you become first responders on the scene, digging out. And I think that's just a wonderful thing. Read the chat. In East Texas, after a storm passes, you are grateful to be alive, says Granny Goose. Hi, Granny Goose, says Indiana Jones. Charlie Brown is what they call my nephew, too. He's in, we already talked about East Texas Piney Woods. Ron White with a smile face. All right, so a slow chat today. A lot of people watching, though, which is good. So let's get into the title of the video, of the live stream that I'm doing right now. Sink the Swamp. Sink the Swamp. Is my beloved President Donald J. Trump really draining the swamp? I'll give my opinions after I read some of the chat, but that's the initial question. Is my beloved President, number 45, Donald J. Trump, is he draining the swamp? And I got all the time in the world. Well, I have about 40 minutes set aside for this particular broadcast. Then I got to do laundry and life stuff. No one's answering in the chat. Interesting. My question is my beloved and will be reelected 45th President of the United States, is he actually draining the swamp? No comments yet. That's okay. I'll wait. Charlie comes in and says, not going as he planned. James Robert has joined us as well. What up, James? How are you? Indiana Jones as best as he can. I understand the logic. I understand the logic behind putting people into his administration that used to work for Goldman Sachs, like Steve Mnuchin. I understand the logic. I think the optics are terrible. I think it does not look good. James Robert, I think the swamp is being very difficult. Well, yeah. When you extract a tooth, when you rip out a molar, or any tooth, but a molar in particular, first you have to relax the patient. And then you have to inject Novocaine. So that's a process. That's the only part of the process that really, has any pain, because once the Novocaine is in, that whole section, and then you rip out the bad tooth, I think Trump just needs to rip out a few bad teeth. Candy Smith has joined us. JB, if you have noticed that Trump prefers to put people in positions under a quote-unquote temporary placement rather than a permanent. You spelled permanent wrong. That's okay, Candy. Trump says he likes this better so he can move people around easier. I agree. We're saying the same thing. I'm starting this entire live stream off by leaving everything open. I'm not making any statements. I'm asking questions. Indiana Jones, good point, Candy. Candy Smith, all the turnover in his administration tells me, yes, he's draining the swamp. I agree. Like I said, I'm not making statements. I'm asking questions. The statements will be made by the chat, and then I'll finish up with my opinions and thoughts. Our President of the United States is a businessman, and he is taking care of our business. A lot of District of Columbia is running scared. Correct. Sorry, yes, spelled wrong. Oops. No, Candy, I'm just struggling for content. That's all it is. I'm not fucking with you. And that was not an accidental devil. How did I do that? That was not an accidental devil sign. I'm holding something. So I'm not giving anyone any freaky subliminals. I know all about that stuff in spades. So don't worry about that. Let's put it this way. You're never going to see me wearing a Justin Bieber t-shirt or a Britney Spears t-shirt and being like, hey guys, this is JB. Welcome to my live stream. I am totally normal and not doing a 666 one eye, all-seeing eye of Horus sun god sign. I am not doing that. You're never going to see that, right? So it's all good. All of my hand gestures, sometimes they're deliberate, sometimes they're just totally accidental. At Granny Goose, yes. Perfectly stated. At JB Rents, LOL, okay, no problem. James Robert, I'm waiting to see what Durham comes up with. So am I. I'm waiting on John Durham. Ron White says, I only watch JB, don't like my spelling. Well, it's what it is. Granny Goose, if you pay attention, follow the dots, you can find the bad actors. Most are connected to energy. Yes, energy and Epstein. Big oil, big electric, and Jeffrey Epstein. And Hollywood. What's going on here, folks? What the fuck is going on here? Could there be something going on? Certainly our entire government is not through and through seeded and laced and infiltrated, and the veins of which certainly are not involved in human sex trafficking and totally illegal horrible selling of military secrets and banker information to foreign powers. No, that would never exist in the highest circles of power. Ask Hillary Clinton. No, that would never exist in the highest circles of power. Why would we ever have a Secretary of State, for fuck's sake, that would sell uranium and also other kinds of secret dealings to Ukraine territory? Oh, it's so weird that when that stuff starts to come out, that in the last 2 days they start investigating the president for the fact that he talked to Ukraine about bad actors. Weird how coincidences just happen. Trump bad, orange man bad. Trump bad, orange man bad. Orange man, orange terror, orange monkey terror, orange man bad, orange man bad. Clinton's pristine. Clinton's pristine, clear as crystal, clean as a dinner plate you would serve to a dignitary. They've never done anything wrong. The Clintons have never done anything wrong. Oh, I just think about a Clinton presidency. I just think about it. Oh, yes, I just think about how perfect the United States of America would be under the reign of the Clinton criminals. It's just going to be great, isn't it? It's going to be great. Under a Clinton presidency, nothing but butterflies and economic justice for everyone who has crossed our border illegally. You are free human beings. You're free to come into the country and vote for the Democrat Party. Vote for Democrats until the forced vaccinations come in and until they give you the fucking mark of the beast tattooed on your wrist or on your forehead, just like the Bible says. Dumbasses. Jesus Christ. Pay attention to you, Granny Goose. Pay attention to Ukraine. It's been the center of all the dirty deals along with China. Yes. Candy Smith. I'm in Houston. I always read the chat backwards because I'm always late. Candy Smith. I'm in Houston. I bet there are a lot of scumbags in my town with those connections. Anytime the energy business hurts, I see many layoffs in my area. I live near the energy corridor. Good to know and something to pay attention to. My cousin, Charlie Brown, Charles, I believe his plan is an 8-year plan. There is no way to do it in 4 years. I agree. I would actually come back on that, Charlie Brown, and say that there's no way that what needs to be done can be done in 8 years. But yeah, you're right. Cerebral Killer. Hey, how's it going? Cerebral, I met you somewhere else, and I invited you to my channel, James Robert. I live in Arkansas. I know all about just how corrupt they are. Well, yeah, Arkansas with the Clinton suicides. Every time you do something against the Clintons, you commit suicide. Your state took the unfortunate name. It's called Arkansas. If you go against the Clintons when they were in power back in Arkansas, when Billy Boy was the governor, and you do something they don't like, or you talk about their dirty dealings, you end up room temperature in some field. It's called Arkansas. It's called Arkansas. Wow, this person had a family and had children, had no suicidal tendencies, had a good job, so they thought, and was very high up in public office, but they just decided to commit suicide and leave themselves in a field with 2 bullet holes to the back of the head, Vince Foster. With 2 bullet holes to the back of the head, Vince Foster. With 2 bullet holes to the back of the head, Vince Foster. With 2 bullet holes to the back of the head, Vince Foster. Kind of like 2 planes knocking down 3 buildings in New York on September 11th, 2001, just after 9 a.m. Kind of like 3 buildings falling from 2 planes on September 11th, 2001, just after 9 a.m. when I was in physics class and the announcement came over. Kind of like that. Oh, no, these things just happen. Yeah, just believe the TV and the government. Just believe the television and the government. I mean, 2 plus 2 equals 5, right? 2 planes knocked down 3 buildings. Vince Foster committed suicide when he was a high Clinton staffer and was found in a field with 2 bullet wounds to the back of the head, too. And that's how he committed suicide. First, he shot himself in the back of the head, and then he shot himself again in the back of the head. Twice. 2 bullet wounds to the back of the head. Suicide. Twice. Vince Foster was a suicide. 9/11 was done by Muslim terrorists. They apparently were so magical that they were able to knock down 3 buildings with 2 planes. I mean, the world is probably, if you guys don't understand that I've taken on a complete and total air of sarcasm, then you should probably turn off my show. Yeah. Candy Smith, James Robert, yup. Granny Goose. Everyone in Arkansas knows how dirty the Clintons are. Not all Texans know how dirty the Bush are. Bush and Clinto big friends. Yes, the Bush-Clinton crime syndicate. This is why the Bernie lovers are pissed. This is what the Bernie lovers are pissed about. I was a Bernie supporter, by the way. Now the chat's even though there's not a lot of folks watching the chat, those who are in the chat are awesome. So let me scan back. Yeah, so Cerebral Killer joined us. Cerebral is one of our newest. James Robert, hey, Cerebral Killer, great to see you. Hey, from Southeast Georgia. What up, Georgia? Hey, James. Cerebral. Wow, that was a bad hiccup. The boys on the tracks. Yes, James Robert. The two boys who saw the two young boys, I think one was 12. Maybe they were between let's just say they were kids, between the ages of 10 and 15. Two of them who saw one of the massive, allegedly, this is not JB saying this. I'm simply relaying information I've gotten from other sources, and my friend referenced it, so I'm going to talk about it. The two boys between the ages of, let's say, 10 and 15 who saw a big railway cocaine dealing coming off a train, and they ended up committing suicide on the train tracks. No suicide notes left. Google Clinton body count. Don't listen to JB. Google Clinton body count. Don't listen to me. Google Clinton body count. Don't listen to me. Candy Smith. This is what the Bernie lovers are pissed about. Intermingling of corporate America with our government. Unfortunately, this has been the case since around after World War I. Actually, it's been around a lot longer than that. It's been around since the introduction of the Federal Reserve in 1913. So I disagree with Candy Smith there. I read some documentary about it all. Yeah, go watch some of JB's old videos, like 2016, 2015, 2016. I had a different name back then. I'm not trying to pump myself up. James Robert, I hope Sarah Huckabee Sanders for governor of Arkansas to take her dad's place. Mike Huckabee is a great guy, and Sarah Sanders is an awesome woman. I love both of them very much. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a Republican. They're just good people. I love them. I hope Sarah Sanders runs for governor of Arkansas. I believe she will clean up all the corruption. I hope so. That's from James Robert, Candy Smith. This is the fascism. The left chants about. I know. Everything the left does that's wrong and evil, it's typical psychopathic behavior. There's a big section of my channel that you guys are just good women and good men, or girls and guys, or however old you are, it doesn't matter. There's a big section of my audience that was not, because you're relatively new, and when I say new, I mean a year or two. You didn't see me when I was doing all my rants about psychopaths. My psychopath abuser is dead now. He killed himself with booze, thank God. He's off the planet. And I don't say that about anyone else. There are people that I hate that when I find out they passed away, I'm actually sad about. My psychopath abuser, whose name I've never said, who died 3 years ago, I feel nothing. I feel bad for his family, I guess. So I guess I gave half of it away. It is a he. But I feel nothing knowing that this psychopath is off of the planet. And a lot of the folks that are high up in government and high up in the intel agencies are by virtue of the fact that they're able to handle that job. Unfortunately, many of them end up, it turns out they're psychopaths. And I don't like it. For example, Bolton, who's gone, very, very clear. Crystal clear that he's a psychopath. Nice little mustache, nice suit, acts all official. Bomb countries take things. That's John Bolton. Bomb countries take things. I don't know why in the actual fuck the president put him in that position for a couple days or 11 days. I don't know why the hell he did that. Maybe just to see how bad he smelled or something. I have no idea. Thank God he's gone. I gotta pee. When I get back, more rants to come. All right. James Robert. I hope Sarah Sanders runs for governor of. Oh, we've already gone over this. This is the fascism they chant about. All right. I should probably end this show. Unless you guys want to meet Orange Cat first. Come here, kitty. Come on. We'll end the show with a cat. Come here, kitty. This is Orange Cat. Orange Cat does not want to be on YouTube. But Orange Cat says hello. All right. We're going to sign off, folks. And I'll talk to y'all later. JB Rants.